Hi, everybody. I'm just waiting for McKenna and someone else to come join me. Hmm. Sarah. Hi. Is this Sarah?
Hi.
Hi. How are
How are
you?
you? Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
What's up?
Not much. Thanks for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for picking me. It's an
Yeah.
honor.
Awesome. Well, I think we're waiting for one other person. Um,
Okay.
we had three people, but it sounds like someone didn't respond, so it's just going to be two of us, which is cool.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, so where are you from?
I'm from Central New York, kind of near Rochester or Syracuse. You probably heard of like the basketball team, Syracuse.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm right from where they are. So
awesome.
yeah, I've lived here my whole life.
Rad. So do you snowboard?
Well, yeah. How
Where
could
do you
I not?
snowboard?
This next year I'll be going to a mountain called Bristol. And hopefully it'll be my last year in New York before I can head out west to hit some better mountains. You know, Central New York is kind of lame out here, but so that's a 16-year-old girl can do.
Yeah, well, you got to make the best of what you have,
Right, right. I try.
for sure. Um, cool. Well, I was thinking we'll wait for McKenna is supposed to be joining us, but we'll
Cool.
just kind of start. And I was kind of thinking that we could talk about just whatever, snowboarding, cooking, yoga, just kind of whatever questions you had. I was thinking we could kind of start with snowboarding, and I'll just open it up to you. And I don't know if you know this, but there's people watching as well, so you can say hi to those.
Right, I kind of heard about that. Hello, everybody.
Um, and at the end, if they want to ask any questions, if we have some extra time, I'll answer some questions from them too. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, so if you have any dire questions about snowboarding to start.
Okay, well, I actually came up with some pretty intense ones. Hopefully you'll be able to answer them. But I wanted to ask like really good ones because like it's kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, I love it. All right.
Okay, so my first question was, in other sports, there's often times when people aren't confident that they will be successful. And I know that being a soccer player and a gymnast, which two sports where it's really hard to like reach the top in them because there's a lot. It's two popular sports. Um, but in action sports, there's like it's known for a positive vibe where everybody's supporting each other and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my question was, on your way to being a professional, have you ever felt like you weren't good enough or that you weren't going to make it?
Um, yeah, I think that you always, no matter what sport you do, are you a gymnast and a soccer player?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I did
Yeah.
gymnastics when I was a kid.
Really? That's so
I also
cool.
played soccer as well. So I wasn't very good at either one. But I I definitely have had times when, hi, McKenna.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Fabulous. I'm so excited.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to use it, so it was like a little confusing at first.
No worries. I had to teach myself for a little while too, so it's okay. It's okay. Um, but yeah, so I was just telling Sarah that I kind of just wanted to open it up to you guys and talk about snowboarding for a little bit and then open it up to kind of, other sports or cooking or just whatever else you wanted to talk about. Sarah just asked me a really awesome question about um, if there was ever a time while I was, growing up in snowboarding that I felt like I wasn't going to make it to the professional level. And I mean, I've been snowboarding since I was 6 years old. So
Wow.
it's kind of like something that I started with as a kid, and it was just like what I did in the afternoons and on weekends. And there's definitely has been even like now. I mean, I go through times where you question yourself, and I think that it's all about just finding that love for the sport and realizing that you're doing it for you and not for like some end goal of I want to be here, and it's good to have those goals, but you have to like be doing it for you, and that's what gets you past those moments, I think.
Good answer. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's a
I
really good answer.
definitely agree.
um so McKenna, do you have any questions about snowboarding that you wanted to ask?
Yeah, like I know I just wanted to see like what like your favorite trip that you went on, like favorite mountain range, like most epic sesh was, like where did you go? Did it have to do with like the weather or the people you were with or just like mostly the terrain?
um well, one of my favorite places to snowboard is in Canada. I love British Columbia. Whistler's awesome. I love Japan. I've been there a couple times and it was amazing. But usually, it's a mixture between terrain and the people that you're with. I mean, the people that you're with always can make or break a trip. This year, I also got to go to Montana for the first time, and I had never been there, and it's kind of like out in the boonies, like full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And I was with a bunch of girls, and I had a ton of fun, and I learned a lot. And so I think a lot of it is, surrounding yourself with cool people. And that's what I love about snowboarding so much is that there's so many amazing people that you can meet through the sport. And it's really made me like really good friends with most of the people that I know.
Yeah, that's like one thing with me is that anytime I go to a new mountain or something, I always try to go with someone who works on the mountain or knows the mountain so well. Because if you just like stick to like maps and stuff, you never really get the full taste of the mountain. But it's funny that you said that you were with all girls when you went to Montana, because that was my next question. Do you like riding with girls more or guys more?
Um, it really depends on the situation. I love riding with girls because of just the like camaraderie and everyone seems to just mess around a little bit. Boys, I really like riding with because I always get pushed when I'm with guys. Like, no matter what, I'm always the one like trying to keep up
Yeah.
when I'm riding with guys. And so it's kind of cool, it makes me like jump out of my comfort zone, and they're always nagging me. And I kind of grew up as like a little sister to a lot of the guys that I ride with, so I like get picked on and like pushed over and stuff. So it makes it fun. It's good to have a balance, I think.
Yeah. Like where I live, it's like the girl guy ratio is like one girl for every eight guys. So I love riding with girls because it never happens.
Yeah.
It's always dudes, always dudes.
Sarah, do you have any other questions? I know you said you have
Um,
a couple good ones.
yeah, I got one more good one. Okay, so everybody goes through different things in their life when they learn about themselves. And my question was, does learning about yourself help you with your snowboarding, or is it the other way around where snowboarding helps you learn about yourself?
Oh, wow. It's a good question. I would say that some of my biggest life lessons have come through snowboarding. Um, just, I think it really has elevated, those lessons that you would learn anyways through other things.
Mhm.
Just, traveling is one thing, like being on the road and having to deal with lots of different situations makes you kind of find who you are. Competing is definitely a really, really tough thing, like dealing with failure. This year I had a really, really rough year not making the Olympics, and I think that I've grown more this year than I have ever in my life, and um, it was pretty rad. I mean, it was definitely a heartbreak, but now coming out on the other side, I definitely like have grown as a person and a snowboarder, and it's pretty cool to have gone through that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Again, good answer.
Defines you more as a snowboarder with how you handle failures and stuff. Like it's always easy to, be the glorious winner, but I think for you to be like a really like confident, like and know where you have to go from there. I think that's awesome that you handle that so well. 'Cause
Thanks.
I always beat myself up. I'm like, no, the day's not over yet. I have to do this and freak out about it. But
It's good to have that determination, though. For
so
sure.
Yeah, I just gotta find a balance. I
Yeah, absolutely.
find myself doing that a lot too.
Yeah.
All about balance.
So when you go and snowboard, do a lot of people recognize you, or is it because like of all your gear that you kind of go unnoticed?
It depends on where I am. When I'm
Oh,
home, I definitely get recognized more than when I'm in other places. I
mhm.
think just because I grew up here and Tahoe's pretty small, so whenever I'm around, it's like small town. People just recognize you. Recognize,
Yeah.
I'm always with my little brother and that sort of thing, and he knows everyone. So, but when I'm gone, I it happens sometimes, but it's pretty cool. It's really rad for me when it happens. I think that um, meeting people and like talking to girls like you and people who are just inspired or have questions is like one of my favorite parts of being able to be an athlete.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I'll recognize you if you ever come to Vail.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
I was
definitely. But
there for the U.S. Open probably.
I
So.
know I was there, and like that's the one thing. The way like I saw Borgmo, and I was like, his stickers on his board are put on there perfectly. I was like, how did he get? And then I was like, wait. And then I was like, Torrenstein, and he was like, hey, what's up? And then I was like, wow, like that's how your gear, everyone's gear is so beautifully done. All the stickers are like crooked and just like have air bubbles, so.
Art. Sticker job is definitely an art that you have to like learn how
oh, they
to
don't put it on themselves, do they? They probably have people doing it for them.
do.
Yeah, I never knew that.
um, cool. Well, do you guys have any other snowboard questions, or should we move on to something else?
Yeah, did you get to do any like backcountry over at Vail? Like, how did you like Vail?
I like Vail. I've only ridden there probably a handful of times, but one of the times I got like a 2 foot powder day there, and it was
Oh,
amazing.
nice.
But same deal, like as you were saying before, is it's so important when you go to new places, like to try to make friends on the chairlift and be like, hey, like you're from here, let me follow you around for the day, because being a local is the best thing ever. I mean, that's why everyone loves their local mountain so much, is because you know where to go. And there's stuff like that on every mountain, but unless you spend a couple days finding the terrain, it's almost impossible to know where it is.
Exactly, and Vail's just so massively big. It's so easy to get lost.
Yeah.
I got lost there for like 5 hours, and
That's scary.
it was horrifying. It was like my first time going there, and I was just like, I'm gonna die, but I didn't. It's all good.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Yeah, Sarah, when you go out out to the West Coast, you've got to check out Vail. It's a fun mountain.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check them out, all of them. I'm so sick of being here. I'm just gonna go crazy once I get a chance to get out.
Yeah, where are you from?
Central New York.
Oh, right on. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not exactly snowboard country, but
Well, there's something. I'm from Indiana, so it's just corn, nothing.
right. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I have a couple questions over here about snowboarding, so I'm going to answer them really quick, and then we can move on to other sports or cooking or just random questions you guys might have. So think up something, and in the
Okay.
meantime, I got asked by Alexander, how did it feel to be the first ever to land that double? And it was awesome. It was a crazy feeling. I definitely, when I was learning my double, it wasn't like a goal of mine to be the first person ever to do it. It was just something that came naturally. I learned alley rodeos first, and they are one of my favorite tricks now. And so I decided I wanted to try a double, and landing it at X Games was kind of like an out-of-body crazy experience. I landed, and I got to the bottom, and I didn't even really realize that I had done it. But it was really cool. Definitely one of the highlights of my snowboarding career so far. Um, and he asked me another question. When in Norway, because I'm assuming you've been here with snowboarding and whatnot, what do you like most about it, and where's your favorite place? So you must be Norwegian, Alexander. I have been there a couple times, and I really like, I don't know, Norway's beautiful. I really like a lot of things about it. I spent a little bit of time in Oslo, and there's just so much culture there. I really like the culture, and really good food. Those are my favorite things. All right, girls. So, any questions?
Yeah, what is your favorite type of riding? Like trees or powder or park, or do you like it all just together?
Well, if I could pick one thing to ride for the rest of my life, it would be like pillow lines and tree lines. Lots of powder riding. There's nothing better than a good powder day. I mean, I think that all snowboarders would agree with that. But I love riding half pipe. It's
That's
kind
absolutely
of
horrifying.
hmm?
I think that's amazing that you can do half pipe because I'm so horrified. I like get to the top of it and I'm just like, oh hell no. I think that's super awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. It's super fun. It's really easy once you get used to it, you know? It's one of those things that's scary the first time, and then
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
dabble a little bit, but it's gonna be baby steps for sure.
Yeah, you just gotta start small.
What for like the Volcom girls thing, when you're in that, do you like those girls? Do you like hang out with them, or is it just mostly for the Volcom, like the company part?
Volcom is awesome. One of the reasons why I like riding for the company so much is it's like a big family. So, you know, the girls team, we definitely all hang out when we have shoots and when we have things going on, but I'm friends with all of them, and if we just see each other on the hill, we'll ride together, or, you know, sometimes we'll just hang out and go do things off the mountain when we're in the same place, and same with the guys. I'm good friends with a lot of the guys, and we'll meet up during the summertime and, you know, go surf or just hang out, and it's really rad. They've created a really, really good community with all of their athletes, which is really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Sarah?
interested to know more about you like playing soccer and stuff like that, and then I want to hear about gymnastics. Like, just
Okay.
soccer is really important to me. Like, um, I play all year round soccer, and my coaches, I've been kind of like a coach's pet ever since day one. So, I go out and practice a lot, and it's just like it's my second pick. Snowboarding is definitely my first, but I might be going to play college soccer. It depends on. I have one more year of high school, and then I decide. But yeah, I want to know about soccer with you and everything. Did you
Cool.
play varsity or what?
Yeah, well, I didn't really go to high school. I went for a year before I started traveling with snowboarding too much, but I played All Stars when I was like 10 to about 13. And
Awesome.
so I did like a traveling team year round. When I was a kid, I was just like that busy kid that like went to gymnastics and then soccer and then went snowboarding and like was always doing something. My mom
Hmm.
hated me. I'm pretty sure she was just taking me from practice to practice all the time. Um,
Right.
and I mean, I love soccer. I think that it's such a great sport. There's actually a lot of snowboarders that play soccer, a lot of really good soccer players that are snowboarders. If you look into it,
Really?
yeah, there's Leanne Pelosi actually used to be a professional soccer player. Um,
Wow.
she was a snowboarder. Yeah, and a lot of the guys, a lot of the like Scandinavian guys are super super good at soccer. So it's kind of like I don't know if it's similar just with the foot eye coordination or whatnot, but yeah, I think that being a part of a team sport is so good for just learning life lessons and just,
Yeah,
having that
definitely.
camaraderie. It's so rad. I think that I love snowboarding as an individual sport, but it's something that I miss sometimes, having that support of your whole team around you all the time. Um, and gymnastics, I started as like a baby. I was in gymnastics when I was like 4 years old, and I loved gymnastics. I wanted to be a professional gymnast when I was a kid. I thought I was going to go to the Olympics for gymnastics. Actually, like that was my goal growing up, and then I found snowboarding and kind of like transferred my goal of going to the Olympics to that. But
Same.
gymnastics is one of those things that it helps with any sport. You get to know your body really well. You get to have that like air awareness, which is so good for snowboarding, and just be flexible and strong. And nowadays with snowboarding, everyone's doing all of these like trampoline training and air pit like foam pits and airbags, and I think that gymnastics background really really helps with that. So
It does though.
to like go and tumble around and be able to, do handstands and stuff.
Do you still like go and tumble sometimes, like at all?
I love to tumble. Whenever I have like a big grassy field, I'm always trying to go and tumble so I don't lose my back handsprings. Like that's pretty much all I got, back handsprings and backflips, but I'm determined not to lose them. So I try to
So,
practice.
could you, what level did you get to? Like, well, right now all the levels have changed since I was like, 8 when I was doing it. The level 8 went down to like qualified as level 6 and stuff, but like,
Mhm.
could you do like a back handspring on the beam or like giants or any of that?
Mhm. I stopped at
Really?
level 7, so I
Which was
was like just before I was getting actually like into the real competing. Um,
hmm
but I learned a back handspring on the beam before I stopped, and yeah, I learned giants right before I stopped actually, and then I stopped. I was like, all right.
Did you ever get like a full and back out? Like,
No,
no.
no.
I never got that one either. I still go back sometimes and try to do it, but it's so freaky I can't do it. It's the coolest. It's my favorite. That's
Awesome.
awesome. So cool.
Okay, I have a couple other questions over here. I'm going to ask while you guys think of any other last minute questions that you might have. What was your favorite part about last winter? My favorite part about last winter was probably going to the Baker Bank Slalom. I don't know if you girls know what that is, but it was one of the first snowboard events, and it's a bank slalom, so it's a race, just around gates, but it's in a gully at Mount Baker, and Mount Baker is like one of the most like core snowboarding mountains there is, and it's in the Northwest in Washington, and it's just really cool. Like all the legends of snowboarding go to it. Like I go there and I'm like starstruck by the snowboarders that are there. Like meeting people, or when you meet someone, you're like, wow, I'm like don't know what to say to you right now. Like that happened to me all day long. So it was pretty cool. It's definitely like rooted me back into core snowboarding, which was really rad. And yeah, okay, another question. What are your plans for the upcoming season? I am going to compete. I'm going to do the Dew Tour, X Games, the US Open, and I'm going to work on a film project, I think. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but some sort of film project, yeah. So excited about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Do I have a boyfriend? I do have a boyfriend.
Does he's a snowboarder?
He is not a snowboarder. I used to date a snowboarder. But no, he's not a snowboarder. He's kind of in the industry, kind of not. But yeah, it's nice to kind of date someone that's not in the industry because
I feel you there. Yep.
very close with all the boys in snowboarding, and so it's nice to just be able to kind of step away from it for a little bit.
That's awesome. Well, I'm happy that you're happy.
Oh, thanks.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys like on the level where you might get married, or are you totally not there yet?
Oh, I'm only so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not quite.
I have one more question. Do you have like a most embarrassing moment that's ever happened to you while like on the mountain? Like one time for me, I just like I was working and someone was like, "Here, do you want me to carry that for you?" And I was like, I won't fall. Like, get real. And then like literally 2 seconds later, I had the biggest slam. And so like that was just like underneath the ski lift, everyone saw it. But like have like one that you are just like always like in your mind, it's just like, oh.
Like, I can't believe I did that. Let's see. Oh, well, one time, one of the best stories actually that I have, I was getting ready to strap in for one of my finals runs at the top of a pipe, and I was standing there. I always get nervous before contests, no matter what. So standing there, kind of like jumping around, trying not to get nervous, and I was like 2 people up, and so I went to go like strap in, and there's a chair. They always have chairs set up for you, so you can sit down and strap in and kind of do your thing. And I went to go sit down, and someone pulled the chair out from underneath me, and I fell, lost my snowboard, and like someone had to like run and grab my snowboard so I didn't go down the half pipe after the girl who's actually taking her contest run. And I'm like laying there on my back, like, and everyone around me is like just went dead silent, like, oh my gosh.
Nobody even laughed.
And then I was like, did you guys just pull the chair out from underneath me? And everyone started laughing at me, and they're like, oh, well, at least you got your fall out of the way. Like, you better go take the contest now. I was like, I can't believe that just happened. But
was it on TV? Did you get it on TV?
I think it like took me so out of my head that I strapped in and I landed my run and I got back up to the top, and the guy who actually pulled the chair out from underneath me on accident was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's okay, it worked out. He's like, I was gonna feel so bad if you fell and I took you out of your headspace because of that. I'm like, yep, probably would have owed me a beer or something, but
that's like
it all worked out. It's pretty funny.
Was it on TV?
They didn't show it on TV, but it was right behind the TV. So they might have been filming
Nice.
it. I don't think everyone saw it. Thank God. That would have been really embarrassing.
Well, I didn't see it, and I watched most of the competition, so you're good.
Cool. All right. I don't know, girls. I think that we kind of covered everything. Do you have any last minute questions before we wrap it up?
Yeah,
No.
you better hit me up if you're ever in Vail so we can ride together.
Awesome. I would love to. I'll be there during the open, so you'll have to message me, and I'll make sure that we can take a ride.
Yeah, I'll show you all the glory spots.
Perfect. I love it. Awesome. And Sarah, if you ever get a chance to come out west, definitely hit one of us up, and we'll make sure you get a good run.
Thanks, guys.
Oh.
I definitely will.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It was great to meet you.
It's good to meet you, too.
Awesome. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right. Bye.